Yo dudes! Welcome to Creamy Veg Casserole. This one costs €4.47. We went to the shop earlier. It's going to serve 4 people. It's gluten.
It's going to serve 5 people.
Oh, 5 people, yeah.
So it's even less than €1 per portion.
It's vegan, it's easy to make, it's oil-free, it's low in fat, it's high in nutrition, and it tastes amazing.
Here we go. As we said with all oil cooking, make sure your pan is super hot.
And note to see, this is a non-stick frying pan and it can go in the oven, so it's oven-proof, no plastic on it.
Okay, we've got two large cloves of garlic or 3 medium size. In they go. Ooh, a little bit of sizzle. I've 1 leek. In Ireland, traditionally with a leek, people just use the white of the leek. In Spain, all they use the green of the leek. We're going to use both parts of the leek. So leek obviously can function very much like an onion in this, but also leek is incredibly sweet and juicy when it's stewed and allows sweat. With the green of the leek, just chop it a little bit finer because it generally is more fibrous. While Dave is just going to browning the leek and the garlic, I've got 300 grams of mushrooms. I've gone with just button because this is cheap and economical. We're just going to chop them into small bite-sized pieces. Okay, so we got our mushrooms. I've chopped them not too small so there's a bit of bite in them because they will reduce significantly.
What's that in the jug, Steve?
Good question, Dave. So we're going to make this with oat milk, and you'll note on the receipt we didn't use oat milk. So what I did was I just blended oats with water and strained it. I want to make this thicker and creamy. Normally it's about 50 grams of oat flakes, generally small ones, to 1 litre per water, and typically it's boiling water with a little bit of salt. So what I did was I put about 200 grams, so it's a lot thicker, it's a lot more creamier. It's going to function as our sauce.
We shot a video of how to make oat milk. There's a link down below to that if you want to check it out.
Okay, so you'll notice the oat milk itself, it's not that creamy, so top tip and lazy way of developing a thicker sauce is potato starch, and just naturally. So we're going to chop these potatoes in 2 different sizes. First ones I'm going to chop where they're bite size, where they're going to be a bit bite.
How many grams of spuds do we
I
have?
have 1 kilo potatoes.
There we go.
Yeah,
and what, do you leave the skin on your potatoes?
I do, I just give them a good scrub. Most nutritious part of the potato is
in the fibre, in the skin. So, because obviously that's the bit that touches the soil, and the soil is where all the minerals are.
Okay, so I'm chopping half them into bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to chop the other half a lot finer, and they're going to break down into potato starch, so it's going to thicken our sauce.
Okay, so we've got 1 squash. It was really cheap. It's on sale because it's in season now. It's autumn. So I've got probably about 700 grams of squash. I've taken the skin off it. I've taken the seeds out of it. I've prepped it up nice and fine, and I'm going to add that into the pan. So see the way I've left it quite kind of big and chunky? It's going to break down and be soft and delicious. Steve just prepping the last thing. We've got a carrot. He's going to chop it up really nice and fine because it's probably going to take about 25 minutes to cook in total. Jeez, you're some man there.
Carrot, in it goes.
Okay, so I'm just going to add a decent pinch of salt once all the veg, less the potato, is in the pan. It's going to help break down the cell wall of the starchy veg and help allow the flavours to marry together.
Okay, at this point it's time to introduce les herbes. So I could have bought these for €1 for a little pack, but walking just back outside the Happy Pear, I found a big tree of rosemary growing, or a big shrub. So we picked a good few sprigs of it. I picked some thyme. So you'd be surprised how much kind of wild herbs are actually growing around your surrounds.
So ones that are great are bay leaf, obviously thyme and rosemary. They go typically the best in casseroles because they're typically the winter herbs. They're real hardy herbs that grow all year round.
And bay, you'd be surprised, bay is often used as a bush. So you might find, like, I know down opposite the church, there's this massive, big, beautiful bay tree known as sweet laurel or sweet laurel. Beautiful flavour and so good. It's so different when it's fresh and vital. Just the flavours are a lot more pungent.
And certainly when you add rosemary or thyme, you get the beautiful oils coming into it too. So as it kind of stews away, the rosemary flavour will infuse and embellish.
And smell like Tuscany. Introducing the lid.
Quite
important for when we're steaming. So in goes our spuds, full kilo of spuds, chopped 2 different sizes. Again, just mix them around to get them towards the bottom of the pot. Another good generous pinch of salt for the spuds.
So that's been 2 good pinches of salt in total.
In Irish, spuds are known as prátaí. Agus is mahalum prátaí. I like spuds. Lid on, and we're going to just leave them sweat. Allow the salt to draw out the moisture, allow the moisture to come around, and kind of in essence steam the vegetables in their own sauce. We're going to leave for about 10 minutes, stirring occasionally just to stop the bottom browning too much. Okay, I let it kind of sit for about 10 minutes and I stirred it occasionally. You'll see right now, it's really starting to brown at the bottom. There's a lot of flavor there. So we're gonna what's known as deglazing the pan. So I have my 500 ml of oat milk. I'm gonna add in a little bit.
A little bit as in that much.
About 150 ml, my twin.
Oh, my twin. Okay, no, I'll do it here. You can
Okay.
coach me through it.
So Dave's gonna get in there strong, and what he's trying to do there is really scrape off that flavor, really trying to impart it into the sauce and imbue the sauce with this wonderful charred caramelized veg note.
Okay.
And what we're doing, so we're breaking in some of the potato and the starch is being released and we're getting kind of a thicker sauce.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Do you want more
Okay,
sauce?
yeah, a little bit more juice.
A bit more juice.
Jus de oat. Okay, I think all the flavor's been freed.
Okay, flavor freed.
It's freed from its shackles.
Okay, so once you've freed the flavor, starch looking good enough, cooked enough. So at this point, you would just want to check: are the starches cooked? And by the starch, I mean the potato and the squash and the carrot. Are they soft? Because in essence, we don't want to do the cooking. Yeah, they're kind of nearly there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you see that the fork went in lightly. That's kind of good. So once they're kind of almost cooked, we're going to add in the rest of our sauce here. We're going to give it a good stir.
Give it a little stir around. So we're now ready to do. I've knocked it off the heat. We've toasted 4 slices of bread, wholemeal bread.
Any type of brown bread you have. We're going to put breadcrumbs on it, and this wasn't on our shopping list because we assumed you had some old crusty bread. I got this from the freezer. I just toasted it because it's easier to break it down to breadcrumb, and also it's nice to have a variety of texture because you get that crispiness, you get a bit of bite, you get just texture. At this point here, add in a little bit more fresh herbs. Thyme, rosemary, whatever. Again.
And what I've done is I've just used the crispy outside. The more you toast your bread, the more it goes into like breadcrumbs. Stephen wants more kind of chunks in it. I like it kind of a little more breadcrumby.
We've preheated the oven to 200 degrees. We're going to bake this with no lid on. The main reason why we're not is because we want the heat to go down to crisp up our toast, for the moisture to come up from the bottom and create this lovely gooey kind of edge section, delicious magicness. That's a technical term.
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
Okay, in we go, right? We're going to bake it for about 10 minutes. It's been in the oven for about 10-12 minutes. Smells fab. Time to take it out. Unveil. Ah, see, look. My breadcrumb trick worked out fabulously. So it does create texture, it does create more variety. Nice way just to garnish it just before you serve it. Just a few little bits of
rosemary on top. It's just going to give a nice pop of colour.
And if you do want to go a little bit flashy, obviously this wasn't in our purchasing list, a few pink peppercorns just to make it pop and add. Oh! And you might think peppercorns, pink peppercorns are actually quite sweet.
And they kind of give a nice taste of texture, nice contrast of texture.
Taste of texture.
Nice lovely taste of texture. There you have it, casserole, €1 per portion.
Cost $4.47, will feed
4 to 6 people depending on the size of the humans and their appetite. Or we're going to jump right in there and burn our mouths. Okay, let's do it.
So again, the leek will have caramelized. Look, so you get a real creamy sauce. Look at that.
Oh, look at the heat of that. Dude, send you loads of casserole love. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing.
I'm going to give it our feedback.
Okay, feedback. Well, I know your feedback's going to be, oh wow, that's amazing.
I love leeks, that's the feedback.
Okay, cool.
I love leeks. Like you get that note of kind of burnt, caramelized, juicy leek.
I love spuds.
Really good.
Spuds being potatoes. Thanks for watching, really. Thank you for supporting us on this journey and this vegetable adventure.
And cook this, it's delicious. It's simple, it's easy, and it's perfect. It kind of tastes like a posh gratin.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway.
Dude, thanks for watching. Sending loads of love.
Bye.